डॉक्टर गुलाब फलारी, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स, जे कॉलेज आरा। आज आप लोगों को हम लॉन्ग रन प्रोडक्शन फंक्शन और लॉज ऑफ रिटर्न्स टू स्केल के बारे में बताएंगे। प्रोडक्शन फंक्शन को हम सिंप्लिसिटी के आधार पर दो भागों में बांटकर अध्ययन करते हैं, एक शॉर्ट पीरियड और एक लॉन्ग पीरियड। शॉर्ट पीरियड में जो लॉ ऑपरेट करता है उसे लॉ ऑफ वेरिएबल प्रोपोर्शन कहते हैं, जिसके बारे में बताए हैं। आज आप लोगों को लॉन्ग रन प्रोडक्शन फंक्शन जिसे हम लॉज ऑफ रिटर्न्स टू स्केल कहते हैं, इसके बारे में बताना है। तो द लॉ ऑफ रिटर्न्स टू स्केल इज एप्लीकेबल इन द लॉन्ग रन। It is applicable only in the long run, where all factors of production are in variable supply. In the long run, output can be increased by increasing all the factors of production or the scale of production. Now, the law of returns to scale states that when all factors of production are increased in the same proportion the output will increase, but the increase may be at an increasing rate or constant rate or decreasing rate. यह जो उत्पादन जो है पहले इंक्रीजिंग रेट में, फिर कांस्टेंट रेट में और फिर डिक्रीजिंग रेट में बढ़ेगा। तो इस आधार पर लॉज ऑफ रिटर्न्स टू स्केल को हम 3 स्टेजेस ऑफ लॉज ऑफ रिटर्न्स टू स्केल के रूप में डिवाइड करके अध्ययन कर सकते हैं। फर्स्ट इज इंक्रीजिंग रिटर्न्स टू स्केल, इन ब्रीफ इट इज डिनोटेड बाय IRS, कांस्टेंट रिटर्न्स टू स्केल CRS, decreasing returns to scale DRS. Now stages. First stage is increasing returns to scale. It occurs when the increase in output is more than proportional to the increase in input. इनपुट से अधिक आउटपुट में वृद्धि होती है। इफ लेबर एंड कैपिटल फॉर द सेक ऑफ सिंप्लिसिटी आर द ओनली 2 इनपुट्स एंड दे आर इंक्रीज्ड बाय 20%, सपोज दैट, देन द आउटपुट इंक्रीजेस बाय देन डबल्स। IRS, increasing returns to scale, implies decreasing costs, and decreasing costs are due to the economies of large scale of production के कारण, economies of large scale of production ऑपरेट करने के कारण कॉस्ट रिड्यूस करने लगता है। एंड इन सेकेंड स्टेज इट इज नोन एज constant returns to scale. It occurs when the increase in output is proportional to the increase in inputs. If labor and capital are the only 2 inputs and they are increased by say 20%, then output also increases by, in this case, 20%. If labor and capital are doubled, the output also doubles. Stage third, decreasing returns to scale. It occurs when the increase in output is less than proportional to the increase in inputs. Again, if labor and capital increases by 20%, inputs here increase by 20%, output will increase by less than 20%. If labor and capital are doubled, output less than doubles in the case of decreasing returns to scale. And decreasing returns to scale implies increasing cost. Here in this stage, cost will increase, and increasing costs are due to diseconomies of large scale of production. Now the three stages in laws of returns to scale can well be explained with the following table. Scale of input, total product, marginal product stage. First, 1 labor plus 1 capital, 2 labor plus 2 capital, 3 labor plus 3 capital, and so on. Marginal product in first stage, 10, 20, 30, 40, 40, 40, 30, 20, 10. And total product, 10 is a result of sigma MP, marginal product, 10, 30, 60, 100, 140, 180, 210, 230 and 240. And from 10 to 30 stage first, known as increasing returns to scale, 40, 40, 40, stage second, constant returns to scale, and after that 30, 20, 10, stage third, decreasing returns to scale. Now, the table shows the working of laws of returns to scale in three different stages. In the first stage, IRS, in this first stage, IRS, with employment of labor and capital in the same proportion, that is 1:1, the total product increases from 10 units to 100 units. MP increases till the employment of 4 units of L and 4 units of K by increasing returns. And in the second stage, in this stage of constant returns to scale, total product increases from 100 units to 180 units, but MP is stable and at 40, 40, 40. And in the third stage, decreasing returns to scale, total product increases from 180 units to 240 units. This one. But MP falls from 40 units to 10 units. Now, on the basis of these tables, laws of returns can well be explained through a figure. On OX axis we measure a scale of inputs, and on Y axis we measure the marginal product. And A, B, C, D is the marginal product curve. From B to C stays second, A to B stays first, and C to D stays third. In the figure here again, the scale of inputs L and K employed is shown on the OX axis, and NP is shown on O axis. ABCD is the required marginal product curve. This is the MP. The curve initially is positively sloped from A to B, then moves as a straight line from A to B, then moves on a straight line from B to C, and finally slopes negatively from C to D. The curve shows that In returns to scale, the MP increases in the beginning, then remains constant for a while and falls in the end. Here in this table, falls. Now, on the basis of this discussion, table B here, this table, summarizes the three stages of loss of returns to scale which takes place in the long run: stage first, stage second, stage third. Term used: increasing returns to scale; in second stage, constant returns to scale; in stage third, decreasing returns to scale. In first stage, TP, it increases at an increasing rate. MP rises rapidly, and reason due to the operation of the economies of scale. From A to B, reference point A to B. Stage third, constant returns to TP here at this stage and increases at a constant rate, and MP, marginal cost, constant here. And from reference point B to C. Stage third, decreasing returns to scale. Total product increases at a decreasing rate. Marginal product falls rapidly, and operation, this stage is due to the operation of diseconomies of scale, and from point, it is shown by from point C to D. Now, reason behind increasing returns to scale and decreasing returns to scale. Now, economies and diseconomies of scale. Now, reason for increasing returns to scale. The reason for the increasing returns to scale are economies of scale. It refers to the situation in which an increasing returns to scale of production unit, cost of production reduces here in this stage or decreases, and output per unit of hectare input increases. Now, economics of scale can be classified as internal economies and external economies. Internal economies. These economies arise because of the action of an individual firm to economize its cost. They are 5 kinds. Internal economies may be of 5 kinds. First, technical economies. Due to the use of better types of machines and to improve the technique of production. Effect how? Uses the better type of techniques and improve the technique of production. Naturally, the cost of the production will increase, thereby reduce the cost. Second here, managerial economies. This involves first, division of managerial tasks for increases efficiency. Efficiency अगर बढ़ता है मैनेजरियल का तो इसके चलते होगा. And second, use of high degree of mechanization such as computer, telex machine, etc. to save time and speeds up processing of data. Third, marketing economies. This involves first, purchasing raw material at the lowest cost. When a firm purchases raw material at the lowest cost, then market economies will arise, and selling finished goods at the highest price. And it is possible only by using advertisements and etc. Fourth, financial economies. This involves first securing loan at easy and lower interest rates. Second, getting large overdraft facilities from the banks. Getting large overdraft facilities from the banks. And fifth one, risk-bearing economies. These involves diversification of output, market, and sources of supply. Now, external economies. External economies are common to all the firms in the locality and in the industries. Now, reason for decreasing returns to scale. The reason for decreasing returns to scale are diseconomies of scale. It means that a firm grows so large that it becomes very difficult to manage it. Very difficult to manage it. There are disadvantages and inefficiency which a firm experiences when it expands beyond optimum capacity. It increases the cost and gives rise to decreasing returns to scale. Now, the major diseconomies are, we can summarize the major diseconomies: production beyond optimum capacity of the machinery used by the firm. There is a limit to produce the goods with the help of the machinery available in the firm. Second, the firm may be compelled to buy raw material at a higher cost. Next, non-availability of input. Next here is management and coordination becomes difficult here due to the large production in the firm or in the industry. And finally, factors of production cannot be substituted for each other beyond a certain limit, and due to the reason there may be a decreasing returns to scale operates here. That's all.